Hey America, it's Jacquelyn Rochell with a different view. I've got something to get off my chest today. My blood is boiling, my passion running deep, and my prayers are being answered as the nation demands citizen and governmental action to bring justice to the senseless death of 17-year-old TRAYVON MARTIN. On March 11th, a different view with Jacquelyn Rochell was one of few national media groups calling for the arrest and prosecution of George Zimmerman, the self-proclaimed neighborhood watchdog for the Twin Lakes gated community in Sanford, Florida. While news reports of Zimmerman's self-defense claims actually surfaced, it is unarguably clear that Zimmerman not only confronted TRAYVON, but he pursued, attacked, shot, and killed an unarmed 17-year-old black male, purportedly because he looked suspicious. America, I'm feeling good in my body, but my spirit is vexed and unsettled by this nation's civic and political response to this black kid's cold-blooded murder. But it's not just this black kid, right? I read and hear about TRAYVON Martin's every single day. So where is the anger, unacceptedness, the outcry every time a black kid is senselessly gunned down on the streets of America? Are African Americans angry because it was a white man that killed an innocent black kid? Let's ask ourselves, do we respond the same way when a black man kills an innocent black kid? The Reverend Jesse Jackson summed it up in this quote: "We as a nation have become much too violent. If it's black on white, it's jail time. If it's white on black, it's riot time. If it's black on black, white on white, or brown on brown, it's Miller time." In all seriousness, every American needs to deal with this historical issue and tradition of discrimination against black men, women, and children head on. Do Americans, the government, or the media respond to innocent blacks being murdered or kidnapped, those living in poverty due to unemployment, or those who are sick and suffering from an incurable disease in a manner consistent to the way they deal with whites who are faced with the same tragedies? My news researchers choose compelling news articles for a different view every week. Compelling news that matters to everyday survival in the boardrooms, classroom, neighborhoods, the marketplace, and on the streets of America. Ask yourself, are we so tied up with the media's obsession with non-essential news reports on entertainers and their life going-ons that we unconsciously and systematically turn our heads, close our eyes and ears to the sustained disrespect, attacks on, and injustices against black men, women, and children in this country? I've got an impassioned message for the pastors, ROLAND MARTIN, the Miami Heat, and every other organization or individual around this country wearing hoodies to symbolize protests for the murder of TRAYVON Martin. You are all being hoodwinked, bamboozled. This black child's murder is not about TRAYVON Martin wearing a hoodie. TRAYVON Martin and black kids in America are being murdered senselessly and unapologetically because they were born with and wear black skin. So every last one of you wearing these hoodies need to take these goddamn hoodies off and deal with the real issue. George Zimmerman did not shoot TRAYVON MARTIN because he had on a hoodie. He shot him because he was a black male. America, wake up. As a political science professor who lectures on politics and race in Michigan, I can assure you, all of you, that black men are confronted every minute of the day by a white police officer because he looks suspicious, walking, riding, or driving down the street with a black face. 3 weeks ago, I reported on this tragedy, calling it a modern-day Emmett Till case. Remember what happened in Muddy, Mississippi in 1955? Roy Bryant and his brother-in-law J.W. Milan, two white men, admitted to and were acquitted for the brutal murder of the then 14-year-old Emmett Till because he was black, not because he purportedly whistled or said something inappropriate to Mrs. Bryant. TRAYVON wasn't killed because he had on a hoodie. W.E.B. Du Bois said that the colored line would continue to be a prevailing issue in America on through the 20th century. Wake up, America. This is the 21st century, where the life of a black-skinned American is still undervalued to the point where his livelihood and freedom can be snatched from him to remind him that white folks and their public policy priorities place more value on the life of and welfare of a dog's life than it does his. Wake up. Today is the day we must stop letting the historically privileged who have enslaved, oppressed, raped, and robbed all of us of our life's valuation equal to and comparable to white life in America, including the rights to equal standards in public school education, equal and fair standards for wages, business opportunity, credit, housing, and insurance, and something as simple as clean and safe streets and neighborhoods. For crying out loud, the historically privileged are so cunning and manipulative that they've even structured the criminal justice system to legally reinstitute a modern-day system of slavery that disproportionately incarcerates minorities at a rate that's 5 to 1 compared to the incarceration rates of whites. Hey, Americans, black Americans and white Americans, let's call this incident what it really is. TRAYVON Martin was not murdered because he had on a hoodie. So take those goddamn hoodies off. TRAYVON Martin was murdered because he wore black skin. The chief of police, Bill Lee, and the prosecutors did not arrest George Zimmerman because TRAYVON Martin was a black kid. The white media, nor any of the African American media outlets immediately reported on TRAYVON Martin's murder because he was another black kid. Racial discrimination is not dead in America, despite the fact that America has its first African American president. He too and his wife fall victim to racism and discrimination and disrespectful parodies in national media, in the halls of Congress. Racism still exists and is exceedingly more dangerous in states that permit the open and unbridled carrying of deadly weapons by fools and racists. America, you've tuned in to A Different View with Jacquelyn Rochell. Remember to catch my show every Sunday.